Hello and welcome to CKE 10,000 Runs Gaming Channel. In this video we'll be looking at my Mob Psycho Claw Organization deck profile. The main reason I built this deck is because I bought a Mob Psycho case and I have a lot of cards. So that's the main reason I built this deck. I think the Choice Gate Mob and Friends deck build or the 8 Standby Reagan deck build would be more competitive. But yeah, let's begin with the level 0s. I'm running 3 copies of Dimple. It has 2 effects. The first is a continuous effect. If you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this card gets plus 2,000 power. And at the beginning of your opponent's draw phase, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher card, you may return this card to your hand. This is one of your ways to plus early. And I'm running 3 copies of Cookie-chan. It has 2 auto effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them on top of your deck in any order. The second effect is when a climax is placed in your climax area, you can return this card to your hand. If you do, choose one of your characters and that character gets plus 1 soul until end of turn. So this kind of combos with your standby climax. Then I'm running 2 copies of Shigeo Mob Kageyama as your brainstormer. And for each climax revealed during your brainstorm, you can choose one character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. And it has 2 other effects as well. Continuous, all your other characters of Reagan and his card name gets Esper, and at the beginning of your climax phase, choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 500 power until the end of turn. And then I'm running 2 copies of Takeuchi. It has 1 auto effect. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a card. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck, and then choose one level X or lower character in your waiting room and return it to your hand where X equals to the level of the card revealed. And I'm running 2 copies of Takeuchi Serious Mode. It has 2 act effects. The first is you can pay 1, put this card into your waiting room. If you, and then look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose one Esper or Claw character from among them, reveal to your opponent per hand, put the rest into your waiting room. And the second is activate rest this card, choose one of your characters, and that character goes plus 1,000 power until the end of turn. Then I'm running 2 copies of Megumu Koyama. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. All of your other characters get the following ability. Continuous, this card cannot side attack. And has a second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room, and then this card gets plus X power until end of turn. X equals the number of Esper or Claw characters among those cards times 1,000. Yes. Then at level 1 I'm running 3 copies of Gum-chan. Continuous, if you have 2 or more other Esper or Claw characters, this card gets plus 2,000 power. And the second effect is hand encore. You can discard a character from your hand into your arena room, and then this comes back rested. Then our level 1 climax combo. I'm running 4 copies of it. Matsuo. It has 2 abilities. The first is it has 2 abilities. The first is the climax combo, and when Matsuo's Pet Shop of Horrors is placed on your climax area, if this card is on your center stage, you may pay 1 stock. If you do, choose one of your other Spirit or Claw characters and stand it. The second effect is when this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle point is level 1 or lower, you may reverse that character. Then I'm running 3 copies of Dimple possessing a Claw minion. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. If there's a marker underneath this card gets plus 4,000 power and Spirit. And when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may choose one Dimple in your waiting room and put it face down underneath this card as a marker. The Dimple is the level 0 card you're running. Then I'm running 2 copies of the Mukai Assist, and it's also a brainstorm. It has continuous assist. All your characters in front of this card gets plus 1,000 power, and the brainstorm is pay 1, rest 2 characters, flip over 4 cards from top of your deck, put them in your waiting room. For each climax, reveal among those cards, choose up to 1 character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Sorry, it's out of focus. So, there you go. There's the card. Then I'm running 2 copies of the Ritsu backup. When you use this card's backup effect, you can pay 2 stock, put 1 character from your stage into your waiting room. If you do, you can choose one of your opponent's characters with level higher than your opponent's level and put it into his or her waiting room. So it's change, punish, backup. Then I'm running 3 copies of Chocolate Chan. If you have 2 or more other Esper or Claw characters, this card gets plus 4,000 power, and second effect is Auto Encore. So it's your standby target. And then I'm running 1 copy of Caramel Chan. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay 1 stock. If you do, choose one of your Spirit or Claw characters and this card, and exchange them as stand. And the second effect is when this card becomes reversed, if the level of this card's battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock into your way room, and if you do, put that character into your opponent's clock. And then I'm running 2 copies of Candy-chan. Sorry, let me fix that a bit. It has 2 effects. The first one is continuous. If this card is in your center stage, all your other Esper or Claw characters get plus 1500 power. And the second effect is this ability activates up to once per turn. When this card becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a level 2 or higher, you may rest this card. Then for our early plays, I'm running 4 copies of Show Inspection. It has 4 effects. The first is continuous. If you have 4 or more Esper or Claw characters, this card gets minus 1 level in your hand. This card gets plus 1,000 power for each character on your opponent's backstage. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you may discard a card. If you do, put the top card of your clock in your stock. And when this card's level 2 or higher battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put the top card of your deck into your stock. And then our last level 3 card we're running is Ishiguro. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may heal 1. And the climax combo is when Claw Organization is placed on your climax area. If this card is on your center stage, and you have 2 or more other Esper or Claw characters, choose up to 2 characters in your opponent's way room, return them to your opponent's deck, and your opponent shuffles his or her deck, and this card gets plus 2,000 power. And the following ability until end of turn, when this card's battle becomes reversed, you may put that character on top of your opponent's deck. And then for the climax cards, I'm running 4 copies of Matsuo's Pet Shop of Horrors, which is your level 1 combo. And I'm running 4 copies of Claw Organization on a Door, which is your level 3 combo. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below to see an overview of this deck build.